I thought I'd take a moment to share a slightly different video with you today in case you were nervous about attending a Christmas party by yourself. So, if we haven't met yet, hi, I'm Lucy Wheeler, the founder of Lucy Legal, the fastest growing template shop in the UK supporting entrepreneurs to legally protect their business. I last week attended the Christmas party for Hay House authors. It was an absolutely fantastic event, but given that I'm not actually a Hay House author myself, I was pretty nervous about going. And I've realised that as it is the season to be jolly and to wear Christmas jumpers and go to Christmas parties, quite a few of you may be feeling the same way. You might be feeling pretty nervous and wondering how you will cope with going to a Christmas party. Now, obviously, the world is very different post COVID, and sometimes socializing feels anxiety inducing. So, I'm someone who previously was fine in social situations. I'm a lawyer. I know how it feels to be in an awkward situation, to be in rooms with people that you don't really want to talk to, knowing that you have to be doing those kind of conversations and sort of ticking boxes, and to be wanting things to be a little bit different too in a scenario and in a situation. And over the years, I've been to so many networking events, and I know how to handle them. So I thought I would share some of those tips. But I would also start by saying that things are different now. That in a post COVID world, I feel like a lot of people feel a lot more anxious before going to an event, and that after an event, we often overanalyze or at least analyze. Should I have said that? Did I say that right? Can I have made that clearer? And I think in a world as well where we often sort of watch videos and things are perfect and we kind of then believe that that's how people are. Now, I am very much of the view of we should just show up. I mean, the amount of time I've spent trying to get that light to not show the glare on here, but it's late in the evening and I can't get that to work by myself. So I'd love it to be perfect, and I'd love to have editing skills to make that go away. But I also think that I know that my message is really, really important. And if I keep waiting to find the perfect time to share it, I just won't, because I'm not perfect. It is late at night. There isn't any natural light. I wanted to share this message so that you actually get to see it before it becomes irrelevant. So it's party season. If you are in my world, in Lucy Legal world, you may be coming to one of our Christmas parties. I am so proud to be sponsoring Christmas parties this year alongside Alice Benham, who's created Small Business. Lucy Legal is promoting small business this year, which is such an honour. And Small Business, if you don't know, is an initiative set up by Alice Benham to inspire business owners and encourage them to take back their Christmas party, to go along and celebrate themselves, to celebrate everything they've done this year, because when you're a business owner, you often don't have a Christmas party anymore. So it's bringing together all of the business owners across the country and celebrating them both in London and Manchester. And Lucy Legal are sponsoring them to ensure that you've got the most incredible drinks and fun things. There are so many fun things happening at the events, and I won't spoil any of those right now. And also being part of the grant. So for a long time, I have wanted to provide business owners with a financial grant to give their business a boost. And we're doing 3 events this year, so 3 Christmas parties, and at each event someone is going to be chosen to get a business grant. They'll also win an incredible hamper of goodies, so that's really, really exciting. But if you're not making one of those events and you do have other Christmas parties or other events coming up, whether they're for business or not, I think that these 3 tips are going to be really super helpful for you. So the first thing I'm going to tell you is to dress comfortably. Okay, and you might be thinking, okay, Lucy, how is that going to help me? How is that going to make me not look stupid? Because if you are comfortable in what you're doing, you are going to speak more at ease, you are going to feel more at ease, and you're going to enjoy it more. And I know, as somebody who's just had a baby and who possibly doesn't even feel like they're in the same body at the moment, I know how awkward that can feel to put something on and think, this used to fit but it doesn't, and be tempted to wear that thing. But believe me, if you're already in a situation when you get to the party and you feel awkward, the last thing you want to be doing is like pulling at straps, or like trying to cover up, or pull a skirt down if you think it's too short, or just like trying to hop from foot to foot because the shoes you're wearing are uncomfortable. I recently attended the FEA, the Female Entrepreneur Association Christmas party, and I wore a red jumper. I wore a big red festive jumper and a sparkly gold skirt and boots that were super comfortable. And part of the reason for that was because of the setting it was in. It was in a cinema, and we watched the video of the founders' 10-year history. It was their 10-year party as well, and it was so inspiring. But I was like, if I'm in a cinema, I kind of want to be comfy. I'd also left a baby around the corner, so I was potentially hopping to and fro to go and feed. So I wanted to be in something that I could do all of that in. And I felt comfortable when I was talking to people. I wasn't in shoes that were uncomfortable. I was able to stand and like be engaged, and I wasn't getting distracted. I was able to listen to what they're saying. So I would definitely say wear something you feel comfortable in. Don't forget to smile. You're never fully dressed without a smile, so do remember to smile. And if you're wearing things you feel comfortable in, you probably will smile more in any event. Okay, so that's tip 1, wear something comfortable. Tip 2 is get people to talk about themselves. People blooming love talking about themselves. If you are struggling with like what to talk about, ask questions. If you need to, prepare them in advance. And I know that perhaps sounds a bit embarrassing or a bit silly, but it's not. Prepare those questions in advance, like how did you find the journey here? Like, it's obviously the first one you could suggest, like to break the ice, like, oh, have you come in far, have you been here before, and those kind of things. Or someone came on the tube, how was the tube, have you used the tube often, like those kind of things. Or have you been to this area before? Where do you live? Well, look, maybe not where do you live if you don't want to be too personal, but where are you from? Or have you always lived in that area? Get people talking about that. But if you're going to a business party, especially, get people to talk about the business. Get people to say, oh, what do you do? How long have you been doing that? What have you been working on that's been exciting? What have you been working on this year? What's your biggest achievement of this year? What are you most proud of in your business? Those kind of questions are going to lead people to go spieling about, like, oh my goodness, I've done this year, or I'm most proud of this, or even ask people about the future if you want to. But I would say asking people about things they've done is much safer, in the sense it's easier for them than the future, because especially if you're thinking, well, I've not got my own 2024 plans. If you're asking someone about that and they don't have them, they might then feel a little bit like, oh, I haven't got my plan, should I have a plan? So asking people what they've done, what they've achieved, how they started their business, if they're waiting to start their business, so, like ask them about the job that they do. Asking people, get people talking about them and moving on from like their prompts of what they're saying is the best thing to do. If you feel nervous talking about yourself and your business, practice the few things that you're going to share, things that they're important to you. And I don't mean like an elevator pitch practice, but think about the core, like what's your core message? What do you do? Who do you help? If you had your ideal person that you wanted to support, what would you be wanting to say to them? Like, I'm sure as you start speaking, you'll feel more passionate, but if you need to, just practice it. So I would definitely recommend, as tip 2, is getting people to talk about themselves, and then maybe practicing a little bit about what you might say about yourself. And the third and final thing I want to say is go. Go to the party. If you're watching this and you're thinking, I just don't know whether to go and I'm going to feel super awkward, go. Honestly, even as someone who's been to so many events, done so many things, spoken in front of courts, spoken in rooms full of super important people, some of the most experienced and well-educated people in the UK, in legal conferences and things, and I know how it feels to start speaking with a northern accent, for one, and knowing that immediately people are going to judge you, For being in the legal profession and having blonde hair, that people are going to judge you. I know that people do that, but I also know that I haven't gotten to where I've gotten today without getting in the room. And being in the room is so powerful. It's so inspiring. So as I mentioned at the start, I went to the Hay House authors Christmas party. I'm not an author, but I was invited by someone who has just signed an incredible book deal with Hay House. I was invited to attend with them, and it was amazing to be in the room with people and to do those things which I just suggested, to get comfortable with what I was wearing, to ask them about them and their books, and to just see a different world. And I could say, oh, I don't fit in there because I'm not an author, and actually I've got no intention to be. Like, I don't want to write a book, so it wasn't like I felt like I was trying to be there and I shouldn't be there or anything. I don't want to write a book, and I don't have to do that to go to that party, but it was just incredible to be with a group of people and meet new people and be inspired by a totally new group. And when I was at the Female Entrepreneur Association Christmas party, again, it was just so inspiring, to the point where I was nearly in tears watching that video by their founder, Carrie Green, and feeling empowered and excited about my own brand and what I'm doing and what we're going to be doing in Lucy Legal, and creating an incredible live experience for you in February. So if you are watching and you haven't got your ticket yet, you might want to have a little look and get involved, and come and join Get Legit Live, and hearing how people's brands develop and change and the struggles they have. It's all part of it, and meeting real people makes you realize that, like meeting people in real life rather than just online, is so powerful. It's powerful for connection. It's really great to enforce that nobody is perfect, and that whilst people may show up perfectly online, we're not perfect as individuals, but being in the room helps you make those incredible connections. And if you don't go, you don't get the chance. And what I always think about these kind of things is, like, what is the worst that could happen? So you could go and you could make a fool of yourself, but that's not going to happen. You could go and you might not be enjoying it. If you do, then you can leave. You could go and you're like, these people are not my people. You can leave. But you can go along and you could be part of something absolutely incredible and really special. I would love to know what your tips are. Do you have any tips of how to successfully navigate a Christmas party? If I've missed anything, or if you have your own core tips, I'd love to know them. So please do pop a comment below, and thank you so much for listening. If you'd love to, I would really like you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, so you can watch more videos. Okay, speak soon. Bye.